Hey guys, welcome back to Brian's Train Room. Today we're doing volume 2 of our 1962 buying episodes. First one, remember, we bought as a kid. We spent $250 and got some incredible trains that were a lot of fun. But now we're going back as a collector. Now we know, and I'm going to go back and let's see if we can find the very best values for 1962. That is coming your way.
Presenting the Lionel Cavalcade of Trains for 1962, Section 1, featuring 6 new Lionel 027 operating cars designed for double action, action in sales, action in play.
Okay, couple rules before we go back in time and spend our aunt's money on buying some incredible trains from whatever year we're headed to, right? Well, the first rule is this: we only have a certain amount of money. And that's it. In other words, if it comes out to, hey, I want that one more piece, but it's 10 or 15 cents more, tough. You still got to make those tough decisions, and that's kind of it. The other is you only get to buy one of something. Yeah, it'd be easy to go back to, say, 1956 and say, all right, I'm going to buy 2 Jersey Central sets, brand new, in their boxes. As a matter of fact, maybe even in the master carton, and just hold them there. Okay, well, that's great and all, but that makes for a really boring episode because, well, that's kind of it. The last thing is, well, you get what you get. In other words, what's in the catalog is what you get to choose from. Yes, there was some great uncatalogued stuff available in whatever year we're going to, but that doesn't mean you had immediate access to it. It's what's in the consumer catalogs we're choosing from. The other part of that is that when you order it, you get whatever would have come. That said, say you wanted a Santa Fe operating boxcar. You're most likely going to get the white lettered one because that's how they came. But there is a rare version with the black lettering, right? You're not going to get that one. Just don't. You're going to say, hey, if I'm going to order this, this is the car that you're actually going to get. So those are the rules we're going to play by. Let's see what you guys come up with too, as mentioned, and let's have some fun with it. It's coming your way. So we're back to our 1962 catalog, and it's time to buy as a collector. This one's going to be a little different because now I know what I'm looking for, and I've kind of had a chance to go through and have a strategy of where I want to go. All right, so as we open this up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of start big and work my way down. It's the best way to go, and that way we have plenty of opportunities. So basically I'm going to go as our first item that we're going to spend part of our $250 on as a collector. We're going to go to the very last page with some of the most fantastic, just high-end sets for 1962. What's really neat about this page is it shows 2 great sets: the Super O Goliath headed by the GG1 and the Super O presidential passenger set. Now, what it doesn't show is the one more set, one that's almost hidden on this page, and that's this guy right here, which is set number 13078, which is a Super O 5-unit GG1 presidential passenger set. And it even says not illustrated. Now, from a collector standpoint, this is where the money is, okay? This is an absolutely fantastic set, very rare, rarely hits the market, and super desirable for 1962 from set collectors. This right here is our number 1 item we're putting on our list, which is the 13078 GG1 passenger set for $125. Not a bad start. Now, we're going to add another set to our list here because that's the best way to go, is get 2 sets that rarely hit the market. All these other sets actually come up on occasion, but one of the ones that seem to be a little tricky and is very desirable is this set right here, which is set number 13028, which is a Super O 6-unit Defender diesel freight headed up by Boston and Maine. It's got the rocket, it's got submarine, so it's got some really great cars, really from start to finish. And this is a set, again, does not come on the market very often. So this is for $59. This is a surefire opportunity from a collector point. So we're going to put that on our list. Now, as we kind of work our way back, there's really nothing in any of the sets that really kind of else jumps out. So we're going to start going to essentially sort of separate sale or buying some individual items. So the first page that really jumps out is, man, look at the choices that you have. And we're going to circle all the way around to this little guy right here. I've always loved these, and they are a collector favorite just because of just how nice looking this engine and how difficult they are to find in really nice shape. And that is this piece right here, which is the 59 Minuteman switcher. All right, so this Minuteman right here, which is C on the book, it says the new Minuteman Husky Switcher. It is number 59, and it goes for $14.95. That is going to be also in our stash of trains we're getting for the $250. Now, according to my calculations, after I've spent that, I've got about $50.10 left. All right, so let's kind of flip over and say, what else can we get? This is a great page, got a couple items in here, but nothing really jumps out from a high-end collector standpoint. This page, overall, same thing, a lot of really great pieces, nothing really jumps out that I absolutely have to have or can't find or doesn't come up available. But as we get to this page, there is one piece on this particular page. Again, nothing really jumps out immediately except for this car right here. Always love the airplane cars, and this particular version, number H, is the new 6500 Beechcraft Bonanza Transport car. Unbelievable. Look at this bad boy right there. And if you look at H, it says it's a Bonanza Beechcraft Transport car for $6.95. It is making our list. Now, then you start jumping into the accessories, and there's some of this stuff that's actually quite desirable. Okay, so I'm going to go and look at this page, and there's some really cool things on here. But one of the ones that I want to add to my list from a collector standpoint is this guy right here, which is the $299, and this is the code transmitter set for $7.95. The reason I put on this list is go find one in the box, in a really nice box. Almost impossible. This is an absolutely fantastic accessory. Very, very, very challenging to find in the collector market and in collector condition. The next item on this page that really stands out, and of course is a collector favorite, is right here. Now this is the 419, which is the Lionel Heliport. Now for $9.95, this is also making our list. This is an absolutely great piece. Now once we've added these car and a few accessories, it still leaves us with about $25.25. Now with that amount of money left, let's start looking at some of the sort of trackside, other accessories, and scenery items that would be very desirable. And we got a great page here for us to pick from. The first thing I'm going to add to our list here is really tough. Try and find one, as mentioned, on the collector market in collectible condition, and that is right here. This is the new scenery set. It's set number 974, and it goes for $7.95. And basically, it's this huge box that had a mountain, it had some of the lichen, it had trees, it had the mats. I mean, it had a ton of stuff in there, all for $7.95. Now, when you got this, of course, you want to open up and use it to build your layout. So these, again, just don't show up on the market, and this is a great add. The other two items that definitely want to make sure that we add from a collector standpoint are these two plastic fill sets here and here. This is the 987. The 987 is the town set. It's a 24-piece set and has multiple buildings of the plastic fill in a Lionel box. These super desirable and sought after by collectors. This one is $5. The other one is the 988, which is the railroad structure set, 16 pieces, and you've got multiple items here that are railroad related. Again, very desirable in their Lionel boxes for $5. Adding both of those makes a ton of sense. Now, that brings us down to having only $7.30 left to spend. Well, what I'm going to do as a collector, one of the items that really sort of is sneaky rare are these two items right here. And here's why. So this is the number 121 landscape tunnel, which is a straight tunnel, and the 131, which is the curved tunnel. Okay, now the straight tunnel, we're going to add to our list, and it's $2. Okay, so $2, not too bad. And you say, hey, I mean, these dime a dozen. Not really. A documented 121 is tough to come by. So knowing that we bought this directly from the dealership right here in 1962 makes a lot of sense to saying this is legit. Okay, same thing with the 131. This is the curved tunnel, which we're going to pick up for $3.50. Again, a legit 131 documented, very important to have, and knowing that we're buying these all at the same time with our aunt's $250, cannot go wrong with these. They're sneaky rare. They weren't expensive at the time, and that's sometimes kind of the stuff that really goes. These documented, very important. Look it up. Tough to come by. Now, that said, I've got $1.80 left to spend. Now, this is going to be a little bit trickier. I can't say we're kind of running out of the good stuff here, but one item that would be nice and looks great in a display case is one of these right here. And this is the box, the 971 box of lichen, okay, which is that squishy stuff that sits on the side, track side, and kind of looks like bushes, right? For $1. So it's an easy buy right here. Great, looks great in the display case. And now I've got a whole, 80 cents left? All right, tough call. Not a whole lot for 80 cents. So I'm going to circle back to this little guy right here. This is a little bag of grass, the 919 bag of grass. Again, same thing. It's more of a display case item. That's why I'm buying it. It's 75 cents, has all the little grass in it. It's about yay big, and it's going to fit perfectly in a display case for 75 cents. Now, all told, I have 5 cents left. Am I going to spend it in this catalog? No. I'm going to go, I don't know, buy some gum, maybe some baseball cards or something kind of fun, but that's what I'm going to use for that. But when it comes time to it, I got a load of trains for my $250 from a collector standpoint. Bought the best of the best. Okay guys, I just wrapped up spending $250 as a collector in 1962, and I got some absolutely fantastic trains. I got a 13078 GG1 passenger set. I got a 13028 Boston and Maine freight set, unbelievable. A 59 Minuteman switcher. A 6500 Beechcraft Bonanza plane. An incredibly beautiful 299 code transmitter. A 419 heliport. An incredible 974 scenic set, 2 fantastic Plasticville sets, the 987 town set, and the 988 railroad structure set. Wow. I picked up 2 really difficult to find and document tunnels, the 120 and the 131 curved tunnel. And to wrap up the last $1.80 that I had to spend, I bought a 971 box of lichen and a really cool bag of the artificial grass for the display case. Unbelievable amount of stuff. And from a collector standpoint, in 1962, there was some really great stuff and super rare set and some really neat stuff for the display case and very, very challenging items to find in collector condition. Had a ton of fun, spent some good money, got some incredible trains. I hope you guys enjoyed this. What would you buy? I'd want to know, where did I go wrong? Where did it go right? Please let me know. Hey, as always, thanks for joining me on Brian's Train Room.
Look at her streak along the rails. It's a Lionel.